Hey everybody, welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. My name is Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of me, Allison Rouse. So today we're going to do another episode of Cocktails and Rocktails. And we're going to talk about a man I never planned on meeting, wasn't after. Very few groupies have talked about this band. In fact, I think my book is actually the first one to have these guys actually in it. So today on Cocktails and Rocktails, we are going to talk about James Hetfield and Metallica. You got that right. We're going to talk about the day I met him. And for the cocktail today, we're going to do what I was always drinking when I was around Metallica. There's always some Jaeger and always a stout, and I support my locals. This is one of our locals, Talisman Brewery. Really awesome local breweries here in Salt Lake City, Utah, so if you ever stop, go visit them. Anyway, so cheers, big ears, to everybody. Welcome to Cocktails and Rocktails. Grab a drink, kick your feet up, and let's have a couple stories, shall we? Oh God, I gotta do this Jaeger, don't I? I hate Jaeger. Oof. That's some nipple hardening alcohol. So, okay, girls and boys, let's talk. So, when I met James, I wasn't after him. Me and my friend Jerry went to the show, and I wanted Jakey Lee. And you know, this is, so it would have been April of 1986. This is a pass from Quebec, because I, for some reason, didn't have my original pass. Metallica was opening up for Ozzy on the Master of Puppets tour. Probably one of the only tours that they opened up for. And I loved Metallica. Jerry and I had spent many teenage days driving around and listening to Master of Puppets and rocking out and Master! Oh yeah, loved Metallica. But what did I want more? Ozzy's guitar player, Jakey Lee. So when I go to the show, that's who I was after. And of course, we get there, I position myself just right, I start flirting with a couple of the roadies, and we get backstage. And Jake's guitar tech introduces us, blah blah, we watch the show, Metallica's playing, Jake and I got along, and after the show, before he went to the meet and creep room, Jakey Lee asked me to meet him back at the hotel, at the Marriott, of course. Because what hotel is always in these stories? The Marriott. So that's what Jerry and I were going to do. And Jerry was all worried about her curfew. She was the one that drove us. And, you know, her parents would freak out if she got home late and yada yada. So anyway, I talk her into, we're not going to get home late. It's not that crazy late. We'll just go to the Marriott. And then we'll have a drink and then we'll just go home. You know that's not what my plan was. I just didn't want to be left alone, to be honest. So, anyway, Jerry and I are walking out of the back of the Salt Palace from the backstage area. She's parked across the street from where the buses are in the back parking lot. So we were heading out and coming down towards this car when all of a sudden a white Marriott van just comes screeching up from behind us, like they were leaving the backstage area. And they just stopped right by us. We were right at the end of the parking lot by the security gate. And out jumps Lars Ulrich. And he's like, ladies, you need to come with us. You should get in the van. And you know, Jerry thinking, well, I really don't want to have to worry about parking and paying for parking at the Marriott or moving my car, so convenient. Going to the same place? I'll jump in, sure. I mean, show that girl a bag of candy and a white van, she'll get in. Apparently. But I, on the other hand, was really kind of reluctant because I wanted Jake E. Lee, and I wasn't sure how the night would go because, you know, sometimes you get accosted and get derailed from your actual what's the word I'm looking for? Intention. So, and I was really, really hesitant to get into this van with James and everybody. And all of a sudden, and I didn't even see James in this, I was just like, no, Jerry, we've got to go meet Jake. We've got to go to the hotel bar. We can just walk across the street. Because it was literally around the corner, from the back of the Salt Palace to the front. Just going, making a left at a couple lefts, and blam, you're there. So I was kind of really reluctant and didn't even see James kind of sitting in the back seat when all of a sudden out of the van stretches a long leg, just a long, very skinny black jean clad leg. And it was on James Hetfield. And he's like, nah, girl, you're coming with me. And just got me into the gut with his shoulder, threw me over his shoulder, and tossed me in the van. So apparently, I was going with Metallica to the Marriott. Okay, fine. Once I was in the door, I could break free and run to the hotel bar where I was supposed to meet Jake. Well, apparently, my plan was foiled because in James's mind, his plan was to keep me over his shoulder until he got me where he wanted me. So as we left the hotel van, there I was, over his shoulder again, ass up. Just in a miniskirt. In the 80s. No knickers. Just ass up. Over James's shoulder. Going across the hotel lobby of the Marriott where, at this point, they knew me and my friends because we spent more time there than we probably did at our high school. So, anyway, we go across the lobby, we get in the elevator. I'm allowed to stand on my own in the elevator. He plops me down. He's like, there, da-da-da, what's your name anyway? And we were just kind of talking because I was just like trying to talk to Jerry in the van and having a little bit of conversation, but Lars was kind of loud and anything. So anyway, we get in the elevator and James is like, what's your name? And I told him my name and he introduced himself and we get up to the floor we go into the room that we're headed in. So when you walk in to every hotel room, you walk in and there's like a little closet, there's the bathroom, and then you go through that little hallway to the actual hotel room. James and I pretty much stopped in that hallway and he tossed me down again because he had put me over his shoulder again, went to the hotel room, and just kind of deposited me up against the wall while he went and got into the bathtub that was full of alcohol and grabbed a beer. Lars is chopping his cocaine out on the nightstand between the two beds. Danny is playing, I think Danny was there. Yeah, Danny was there. Jerry's just kind of awkwardly sitting around talking to a couple of the roadies and Kirk or whoever else was in the room because I don't really know because James and I just started talking and never left that hallway. Like he would go grab me drinks. He would grab me a cigarette. He would grab me weed. If I went to the bathroom, he was in that bathroom leaning on that sink talking to me. Like that man never left my side. And I was actually glad because, like I said, I wasn't after him. I was after Jake E. Lee. 5 minutes into that hotel room, the chemistry and the conversation and the fluidity and the comfort I had with James, I didn't even remember Jake. I didn't even think about it. Like, we were just, like, there was this energy in the room that was just so much fun. And we were just talking and laughing all night long. Like I said, Lars doing his coke, and James and I weren't doing coke. I didn't really see James ever do a whole lot of coke. That wasn't his thing. But we were smoking, whatever, just having a good night after the show. Everybody just standing around talking bullshit and being stupid like we always did. Well, a little bit later, you know, I go to the bathroom, so James follows. I come out, and I look over to see Lars sitting next to Danny going through my purse. Hair, makeup, you know, little hair tie, makeup, wallet. Thank God he didn't look at the ID. Thank God. That's another blog, guys, that I have to approach. Hi, Katie. Everybody say hi to Suki. This is my kitten face. But so anyway, so the next thing Lars pulls out is my birth control pills. And he's just like, yeah, James, she's cool. She's good to go. Well, James grabbed those birth control pills, grabbed my purse, threw them back in, put that purse under his arm, grabbed my hand, and took me right out that door. And here I am, hot little horny thing, thinking, oh yeah, we're going to have a good night. The chemistry we'd been feeling, the fun we had been having, the conversation been flowing. You just knew when you got in that room and the clothes came off and your bodies hit the bed, it was going to be awesome, right? I'm going to drink for this. Oh no, Daddy. No, that's not how the night turned out. But even at that age that I was, of legal consent in the state of Utah, I was of a legal age, I knew who I was. As young as I was, I knew who I was. So we get in the room, into James's suite, and we're just making out, and we're touchy-feely, and I've got this like little black spandex mini skirt with stockings and garters. I've got my little bustier and this like kind of Def Leppard captain's looking jacket, all black, because you know it's the 80s. James and all black, we're just a hot looking matchy couple. So we're making out, things are coming off like the bustier, the skirt's on the floor, heels are off, I'm about ready to take my stockings down, and you know, James and I are making out, we're touching all over each other's bodies, and I'm kind of pushing him down a little because, you know, Mama wants some. Ladies, you know, the guys do the same thing. Guys, we do this too. You just don't notice it because yeah. Anyway, so I'm doing the little pushy down thing, and he's kind of like, I'm like, what? Why are you resisting? Then he comes up and starts kissing me again, and he pulls away, and he's like, I have something to tell you. And I was like, what is this? What do you have to tell me? So I have a girlfriend at home. First thing that made me go, no, no. Second part was, and she only allows me on the road. Definitely no. Because one thing I know, if I'm going to be with a man, I'm not going to be his service girl. There's the Wiener Schnitzel on North Temple for those girls. You can pay them very cheaply. That's not me, never has been. So when he said girlfriend and blowjobs only, my little punk ass stopped. Looked at him. So what do you think I am, a back lounge Betty? I mean, seriously. You think you're just going to skull fuck me and walk away? No. If we're together, if I'm pleasing you, you need to be pleasing me too. I got my little heels on, threw on my jacket, put my bustier in my fucking purse, and walked right out of there. James is chasing me down, going, Allison, no, don't leave. He was about to turn. He was just about to be what I wanted him to be that night for both of us, not just for me. Because, ladies, if you're with a man, make sure it's 50-50. That you are enjoying it is just as much, and he's just as into your body and your pleasure as you are his. We need to remember that sometimes, because we forget that. We're natural caretakers. Well, I was not taking care of his dick that night because he wasn't going to be taking care of me. So I get up, I get my stuff on, I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to go down and find Jerry. I'm going to go home. Walking out the door, he's like, Allison, no, please stop. Come back. So yeah, I got my stuff. He was chasing me down the hallway of the hotel room. One of the roadies heard us and kind of opened up the door and was looking to see what was going on. Sorry, I'm pouring myself some more. I love these guys. I love our locals. We have some, whoa, don't go over. Sorry, my stout's bubbling. But so anyway, he's chasing me down the hallway of this hotel room. Or this hotel. And I'm just like, no, I'm leaving. And I'm determined to stand my ground. I'm not going to be somebody's jump off. So, and I turn around, I look at him, I'm like, you know what? When you break up with your girlfriend, you call me. I left my number on the nightstand. Turn around and right off, because I did. I wrote down my number when he was in the bathroom and left it on the nightstand for him. And that was the night I met James Hetfield. He chased me all the way down to the lobby. I stood my ground. I walked out. I did let him kiss me before I left. But I said, like I told you, I said, when you break up with your girlfriend, you've got my number. Went home. Saw Jerry. Found Jerry in the other room. So, went to the lobby. Went back upstairs. Dragged her back down to the lobby. Said bye to everybody. Thanks. You know, it was an awesome night. Never did see Jakey Lee. Got home. Mama was pissed. Why? Because somebody called after 10 p.m. and trust me, my mama has talked to more musicians than Eddie Trunk and bitched out half of them for calling after 10 p.m. She bitched out James Hetfield that night. My mama got the cojones. Wonder where I get it from. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I met James Hetfield. We didn't plan on it. I did not plan on meeting him. I was after somebody else who I was actually supposed to be with. But I learned that night that rock and roll and the rock stars, it wasn't just about them being my play toys. And, you know, I liked the conversation part. I liked that chemistry part. I liked the connecting part that James and I had done that night. Because we did. I mean, this is the first of many Metallica stories for years. And during the best years of Metallica, when the road was the family, because everybody was out on the road for 2-3 years. So this is the first night that I met James Hetfield, and he would also probably be my first rock love that I just fell so stupidly head over heels in love with. So yeah, and I don't regret one second of it. And he did teach me regret is a fucked up word. And I don't regret a second of that night. I'm glad I stood my ground and walked out on him. Because otherwise, I don't think our friendship would have gone the route that it did with Metallica, with Danny and I especially. Because every groupie has that one band that they are most part of, that they just love more than anybody else, that they have the biggest bond with. And for us, Metallica was that band. And it all started because, like, Danny, I know Danny had come in later that night. I didn't see her the whole show. But it all started because I was thrown into a van. And that's what I love about rock and roll. It can be so unpredictable at the same time of being the most predictable social circle in the world, because it's so scheduled and it's so habitual, even to this day. Meet the band at the hotel bar, maybe have some dinner, go back to the hotel bar if you have a night off. Rock and roll starts at 7 a.m., ends at 2 a.m. on a work day. So when you come across something unexpected and something that is so repetitive, it feels really awesome. And that night James really felt awesome, and I was glad that I walked out on him, because I wasn't going to be a jump off, and he never saw me as that. So ladies, stand your ground. Just because they're rock stars doesn't mean you have to be what they want you to be. Be who you want to be for them. Make them who you want them to be for you. And that goes for any relationship. It's a 50-50. If they're getting your rocks off, so are you. Lesson learned. All right, guys. So that's that. The start of a beautiful, many year love affair with Metallica. A lot of more good stories to go. That's probably the most boring one. Those of you who read the book know what I'm talking about. We got the ABCs, we got Denver, we got the car wreck. We've got so many things to cover with this band. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button and hit the bell to be notified, because you never know when it's going to be another James story. Another Metalliland Especial. So, and come over to my Patreon, guys. Links in the bio. Or in the comments. I'm not sure where I put it this time. But yeah, so come over to my Patreon, because I'm going to tell you about Metallicox. I'm going to tell you what I saw that night. Maybe it wasn't everything I've said here. So come on over to Patreon. Again, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell. See you next week, guys, with some more cocktails and rock tales. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.